All right, because we're inheriting these people. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Thank you, it's unanimous. All right. Did Miss McNeil, oh, hi there. Come on in. You just in time. Miss McNeil is not here. Brittany Jones is the assistant director, and she's gonna tell us, give us some information about what they're proposing we do for Halloween and Christmas in lieu of what we normally do, but we don't have normal anymore. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
In lieu of COVID, we've been trying to strategize what we're gonna do for the holiday season. Normally, we start off with downtown scarecrow contest, and then we move into a fall festival with the library, as well as a trunk or treat, and then we go into our Christmas season. This year, we know that we can't have trunk or treat like we did last year in partnership with the county, because we wouldn't want to have multitudes of children and families going around the courthouse collecting candy. So what we've been looking at is other models that other parks and recreation agencies are doing, and they're moving towards a drive-through trunk or treat. So we think we could successfully do that around the courthouse square if we use every other space. Maybe solicit about 35 participants to give out pre-made candy baskets or little bags to kids, and then the parents and the children would drive around the courthouse square and receive candy from volunteers. Our department would go ahead and purchase masks for everyone, Halloween themed that say City of Bennettsville Trunk or Treat 2020 on them, and gloves for all of those who are giving out candy. And then we as the department would have our own candy give out as well. We have approached the county's Park and Recreation Agency and asked that they do the same or try to repeat this kind of concept in their department. So they've chosen, I believe, Clio and Blenheim at this time. They may do another town as well, but we would all coordinate and do this at the same time, so there wouldn't be any cross mingling of children from different communities, so that we can keep McCall's kids in McCall, Bennettsville kids in Bennettsville, and have a safe Halloween season. So we're asking for you guys to approve this plan. We would like to do it on Saturday, October 31st, which is Halloween. I think that would help to cut back on the kids going door to door. I don't think a lot of individuals are going to be apt to putting Halloween candy at their front door, opening the door and giving out candy this year. But this would be something that if we all did it collectively at the same time, could still bring some holiday cheer to those children. So this is our proposed idea right now. Those two sites of Blenheim and Clio for the county may change, but we have talked to Fred Lowry and he is all in on this event. They gave a suggestion of possibly doing it on a Thursday evening. I think that would be counterproductive to us, trying to curb that Halloween crowd going to people's houses and ringing doorbells. I think doing it on Halloween is the best way to go. But we just wanted to propose this for you for the holiday season. We will attempt to do our downtown scarecrow displays and decorate our downtown. We also want to look into doing maybe a 12 Days of Christmas virtual Christmas event, whether that's dance groups that perform on certain nights that might be on our Facebook page or something like that, or certain church groups that are meeting if they would like to carol for the night and have them on our Facebook page. Maybe do a festival of trees where we light up trees in our downtown the same way we do our Halloween scarecrows. We know that we probably can't do a Christmas parade in the way that we've done it in years past. We are looking for suggestions for you guys, but we're also trying to be creative and look at other agencies around the nation and see what they're doing, just so that we can keep our citizens safe during the holiday season. And we have the support of our police force. They say that they will help us and assist us in any way to get these done. And we just hope that maybe you guys will go ahead and approve this so we can start getting the ball rolling for Halloween.
I think it's a good idea, and I like the idea that you're coordinating with Clio, Blenheim, and maybe even McCall, so that we can keep people in their hometown. I'm suggesting that there be some type of disclaimer that you're recommending that no door-to-door candy handouts or whatever. I don't know if that's appropriate, but I think that will let the kids and the families know that you should be doing this year.
Okay. We can do that. We can put that on there, or whenever we put out social media blasts or
Yeah.
any advertisements in the newspaper, we can say we're promoting this in lieu of door-to-door trick-or-treating.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah. And we gotta, like you said, we have to be creative, find ways to, put some fun back in being a kid.
Absolutely. They've had enough change this year.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're troopers. Questions, comments, suggestions? If you think of something later,
Mhm.
contact Ms. Jones at the Visitor Center. That's where their office are. Their phone number is there. Yes, sir.
Mayor, if I may, around every Halloween, we normally have a bunch of calls come in about the hours for trick-or-treating. So I would appreciate if council would go ahead and make a decision whether or not we're going to issue those hours this year.
We're getting ready to do that right now.
Okay, thank you.
So now, we just said we recommended there be no trick-or-treating, and this event will be in lieu of trick-or-treating. So that would, you can phrase that for your announcement, that there is no door-to-door. We're recommending no door-to-door trick-or-treating. Yes, ma'am.
If we don't do the restriction, they're gonna go anyway. You'll have people do.
Well, at least we have said it. We can't control people,
Right,
okay?
right.
But I'm thinking a large population of people, churches may do things for their kids, and they will do this because of the virus. But we were shown some civic responsibility by saying we don't recommend door-to-door candy. And these events will be in lieu of that.
So I guess if individuals call and ask about trick-or-treating, it's 3 to 5 trunk-or-treat
Right?
on.
Common sense, yes. So, are we in agreement? Do we need to move on this
Yeah.
motion?
I make a motion.
All right,
I
that they
make a
move
motion.
forward with this event,
Yeah.
okay? And we'll fine tune something maybe next month for Christmas?
Yes.
All right, you have a question, you're ready to vote. You want a second?
So,
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Davis move, anybody else have any comments or questions? All right, Mr. Davis move, Ms. Quick second, that we approve the recommendation for the new Halloween celebration. All in favor, let it be known by raising your right hand. Thank you so much, we appreciate your time and effort. Thank you very much. All right, moving right along. All right, Mr. Alderman, please tell us about Marty
Yes, thank
and
you.
our workshop.
Thank you very much. As you remember, it was just a few weeks ago that we had a report from Mark Sobitsky with the Care First Carolina Foundation on the Marty program. And he sent me an updated report for July, and for your information. And if you look at, he says that the services are starting to rebound. He's given us a bunch of charts, and you can see that trend in some of his charts. He's also indicated that he said we do have Wallace service available, but they have not been utilized as much as we'd like, and so forth. And he says this talks about Dillon County and connector to service to Harbor Freight and other stops in 2021. That's his plan, but it's in your packet. I think it's another positive report, and I mean, I see the bus around all the time, stopping people's crowds waiting to get on, so it looks to me like it's a real successful project.
And I just wonder how much advertising they've done in the Wallace area to let people know that it's available. I don't know, they may have done a good job or not, but maybe that's why they haven't had the ridership in Wallace. Or maybe because they don't take them to Chirag. They may not want to come to Chirag. I mean, they're closer.
Yeah.
No offense to Chirag.
But if you'd like anything you want me to send to this, Mr. Sobitsky, I'd be glad to. Any comments?
Yeah, I would say that we thank the Marty system for providing this service to our citizens. Being a small rural community with a large part of the population without access to their own transportation, this is a big help.
I agree with the mayor.
I'll do that, I'll send them a letter and I'll copy
Yeah.
the council.
Yes, sir. I'll be happy to sign that. Thank you.
I agree with it.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. The workshop you're proposing?
Yes, ma'am. Well, actually, it's on the, I think, the 1st of September, we had a workshop, and we had quite a few items on the agenda. We were only able to complete two of those items, and the two remaining items were a review of the mobile home ordinance and a review of the streets and sidewalks ordinances, Chapter 95, and I'm suggesting that the council wants to continue on that a good date might be the 22nd of September, which is next Tuesday at 4:30. Of course, I'm open to whatever date time you want to meet, but I'm ready for that time.
Good with me. Anybody else? All right. All right. Thank you.
I'm gonna be out of town having some local session that day. I doubt I'll be back.
The 22nd.
Do you have any questions about the mobile home or zoning, sidewalk issues or whatever, you can leave them with us. We'll update you.
Yeah, if I have anything come up, I'll shoot you and
Okay,
Max
that'd be
the
fine.
questions if that's okay.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right then.
22nd.
I can see it in your
I
face.
didn't get the date. I'm sorry.
22nd.
Next
Yeah.
Tuesday at
4:30.
4:30.
Okay.
Here in this location.
Yes. And we have the information in our,
I'll send the packet out tomorrow.
well, we already have it from the other.
You do, but I mean, I have to change the agenda, and so
Okay,
I'll send
all
out
right.
the packet
You
tomorrow.
pack it, all right.
And I'm sending in your packet a copy of those two ordinances for us to discuss. That's my understanding, that's the council's pleasure.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Non-agenda items, we'll start with you, Ms. Quick.
I actually don't have, but one thing I do want to ask, Mr. Burke. Someone had asked me what happened to our ladder truck the other night, we had to borrow one. I didn't have an answer, so you give us that.
So our ladder truck is Sumter now. It's completed the project in Alabama, and they're supposed to start on it last week, but now they're waiting on parts. And I think COVID has a lot to do with the parts being slowed down, so.
I knew at one of the meetings you said it needed.
But it's in Sumter now.
Anything else? Ms. Quick, anything else? Okay. Mr. Davis?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'd like to give an update on the notification to the property owners to clean up. Would you give us a quick update on that? Councilor Davis?
Property owners cleanup?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The nuisance for safety, police safety, there were 13 letters sent by certified mail. Out of those 13, we did receive the 12 cards back, so the property owners, all but one, have been, have acknowledged that they've received their cards, and out of all of those property owners, we've spoken to 2 people that said they would comply.
And for the others, what's the,
That
Process.
means that we need to start looking at having quotes
okay,
to have that done for them.
okay, so the process is, for those that.
We notify
know it-
them.
For those that received and accepted the letter, and they don't do anything, was there a time period we give them to clean up?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how long is that?
In this particular case, we gave them 10 days.
To respond
Yes, ma'am.
and clean up, or just to respond?
Well, we give them 10 days to clean up
Okay,
normally, but in a case like this, we at least wanted 10 days to respond.
okay,
And these were sent out right after the last council meeting.
okay. So 10 days is gone, they haven't responded, so then they'll get another letter with the estimate of what it will cost
No,
them?
ma'am. We'll do it and we'll bill them for it.
Okay, and then, okay, gotcha, all right.
I have one question.
Mhm.
If there's a property owner
they have lots of trees and stuff is down in their property. And they wanna come in and clean it up themselves. What can the city do by, could we pick up the wood and stuff that they bring into the side of the road? I've been asked that question quite a few times. In our area, some of the people do wanna clean up, some wanna do them themselves, not like bringing in nobody like a tree, like Mr. York or anybody like that. They was gonna hire their own little people and do it, just get somebody in the neighborhood a job.
Our current policy is that Public Works will not pick up anything unless they pay the monthly Public Works fee.
Oh, as long as they pay the public.
But if it's a vacant lot, that means they don't have utilities and they're not paying the fee, so they won't pick it up.
Okay, so it has to be,
It would have to be somebody who's living there, and it would have to be small enough for them to pick up, and they would have to put it at the road so they can get it.
And cut it into.
Right, in small enough pieces.
Gotcha.
But like if you were to get a vacant lot and start clearing it off, they wouldn't pick that up.
okay, all right.
Thank you.
Anything else here? Anything else?
No, no.
Oh, I thought you were trying to find my notes on y'all to talk.
No, I was just deep down.
I know the feeling, it's been one of those kinds of days. Ms. Donaldson.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's all right, we good.
I do have one thing I either want to put on the workshop or the next council meeting, and it's to look at the ordinance regarding moving houses and the time limit that they have to renovate them.
Moving houses?
Yeah,
Okay.
moving a house on an empty lot and
Right.
renovating. Right now, there's not a time limit.
They moved a house, not a trailer, but
A
they
whole
moved a
house.
house. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Would you like to add that to this kind of workshop?
I would.
Yeah, because we deal with the mobile
Yeah,
homes, so
so
that's
that'd be a good
logical.
time.
You
Yeah,
understand? Okay, we will.
Okay.
Thanks.
yeah. And I have some other questions about some stuff dealing with zoning and all that kind of stuff. Mr. Scott?
Yes, I'd like to start off by, saying that, we do have good citizens that live in the city of Venice. And about a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Neil Fair, the kindness of his heart, he fed, the police department and, fire department. He did something for all the departments that we have.
Oh, shit.
And,
All of them.
all of them. And I just want to commend him for this, having that in his heart to do that for the city of Venice, to show that our workers are appreciated. I'd like to say hats off to him. And another thing that I would like to ask the Max or the council, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony, I believe Saturday. And some of the owners asked me, they said that nobody was there from the city or from the county. And they wanted to know that, they asked me what was the procedure to get someone from the city there. And I told them I didn't know. But they were saying, no one was there. And for someone to come to our fair city and open up a business and no one show up. And I didn't know did we have an invitation or
You
what?
get an invitation.
Well, I don't, that's
Did
what
you
I'm
get an
saying.
invitation on behalf
I
of
want to
the
know
city
the
council?
procedure of what they would have to do to get us on.
I think,
Get invited.
Okay, great, that's one.
Yeah. You weren't invited.
I didn't know.
Me?
Okay, no, I'm just saying, I didn't know whether we was invited or not, or we
No.
decided not to go.
No.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want to know, for I can tell them, this is what you have to do
You have to
to
invite.
get us
That's
to
right.
come, because they say look bad, no one from the city, no one from the
Yeah,
county.
they didn't want us there.
I don't know if they invited us or not.
And being old school, Your parents teach you don't go places you're not invited.
Right, if they invited us, I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
I did not.
I
read
still
the
didn't get,
I know, I didn't read the paper, so I didn't know about it either, but I did go down there. I did go, finally. I mean, they had already gone, but they had come back, and he knows that I was there, because I think it's very important that we show our face at ribbon cutting. And I will say this, and you can vouch for us, when Ken was around, he let everybody know.
Well, and I can fix that. I
Yeah.
can fix this problem.
Yeah.
When we had the BDDA, it was a separate organization, there was a great deal of coordination between the activity of the BDDA and the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce, couple different modes. So we now, the city's now taken on the Main Street downtown as a function within the city. And our Tourism Recreation Department kind of oversees that. So I will make sure that from now on, when there's ribbon cuttings that are within the city limits, that you'll all be invited to this.
because they didn't know whether it was on their part, because they said they do have someone
I think
that they hired to do that, and they, you know, they didn't know whether they need to get them on the ball or what.
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce, and then, but we need to, like, I agree, we need to coordinate. I'll make sure that's taken care of.
And, another thing is that, I went to two businesses, and they were saying that, they had complaints, they've been making complaints about, drainage and I'm not gonna call the business name, but my thing is this, they said they've been complaining for years and years. And what I would like to know, someone make a complaint. What do we do? Do we have a file for if we go to other agents and say, look, this is how many complaints that I have about this certain area here. Do we, you know, and they telling me, well, I've been complaining for years and years. I said, well, there ought to be a file about that, you know. What do we do when they come and complain to us about drainage or about things that happen in the city? Do we have things like that on file?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So did they send a written complaint, or did they come to city council meeting and make a complaint, or did they call somebody?
Well, they had said they had did it all.
Okay.
And yes, and that's true. And we take care of most of the complaints, we take care of all the ones we can, and when I receive it, I direct it to that department, whatever the case is. But there are some complaints that the city cannot fix. For example, when it's a state DOT drainage problem, you know, we'll again remind DOT and we'll try to, you know, that's just an example, but those
Right.
complaints continue year after year after year.
And,
I'm gonna get-
okay, when it falls into other departments, do we let those, people know that, look, this is not something that, the city handles, this is another department? Because a lot of people that, our business owners that I talk to say, well, no one had told us that. And,
I use a form, it's a complaint request form, and when someone gives me details of a complaint, I determine immediately what department it goes to, I send it to that department, and request that department follow up with that corrective action, and then I put that in the file, and then I send that to, well, depending on who it is and where the copies go.
We used to get copies of that in our packets whenever he got us a complaint and resolution.
okay.
Can I make a suggestion? Because we don't want you to, you said you don't want to name the business, so maybe at some point you can make an appointment with Mr. Alderman, and you can tell him, and he can go back and look in the files and see how that was handled.
Yeah.
That help?
I'll check on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I hear, I've been complaining for years and years about this and nothing happens. And, you know, if some people, you know, they crazy like me, they think that if there's a drain there, that water's supposed to go down there and it's supposed to flush.
Right.
But when this happens constantly, and this is a business, and they saying that they lose customers when it rains because people can't come in and out of their business. And I got, one, it's an alley behind the store. And they say that there's a drain there. And once again, I'm thinking there's a drain there, something's supposed to happen. Water's supposed to move, and if it doesn't, and they could been complaining, and we got a file that big, we at least can go to that agency and say, look, this is the complaints that I had.
Give me the information, address, location, and we'll have someone investigate it immediately.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's it, that concludes, thank you.
Mr. Taylor?
I don't have anything, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, great.
I'd like to have an update for Councilmember Donaldson.
Yes.
On the lights.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of light problems, street light problems, security light problems in recent months. And we find ourselves not getting, well, we fixed quite a few, but we're kind of not getting ahead of the problem. And we've determined that our street lights are aged. They're the old, most of them are the old high-pressure sodium. So what I've instructed our electric department and purchasing department to do is to order only LEDs. And I've had them order a double order this week of LEDs. And when we receive a complaint about a light going out, being out, not working, instead of the truck going out and replacing the bulb, putting the cover over the photocell not coming on and replacing the bulb, we're replacing the entire fixture, because in those old fixtures is a ballast. And we're having a combination of a lot of bad ballast, a lot of old fixtures. So once we get this order in, we should start making some real headway on the lights.
I know there's 6 out on Broad Street. There's 6 out on Broad Street now.
There was one replaced in my neighborhood. It is lit up, so tell people be careful what they're asking for.
Are you talking about the pole light?
Yeah.
Lights on the pole?
I'm just saying, these LED lights,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, they last a long time, but this is not so, okay? It's like high noon.
Day and night.
LED, for example, LED might have a lifespan 100 times more than the old high-pressure sodium. Plus, the energy needed to run that LED light is probably 1/10. So when I do a report to the Department of Energy every year, I have a lot of losses in our energy uses because of all the street lights, because we don't get revenue. So that's going to help with that.
Are you talking, you are talking about the, also the street lights downtown?
Street lights,
Victoria.
and I've already had them replace the historic light bulbs with LEDs.
Yeah, that's what I was-
Once we get all these old,
Okay.
we're making improvement. We had to do something because we weren't getting ahead of things. But if you know a light out, call me, give me a number, give me the location, I'll have them get right on it.
Did you guys one time map it out? Map out the lights? If y'all could get somebody to map the lights out for us and give it to us, and we could just mark the lights, because, I mean, other than that, you can't remember that it's the 10th light or.
I went down and.
Well, what I have our electric department do is, of course, we have a troubleman on duty every night in every department, and I have the electric troubleman go out once a week, ride to town, write down the lights, turn it in the next day as a work order.
Well, he must be
That's what we're
sleeping.
doing, but
all of a sudden, it's on
we
his
weren't
mind.
getting, weren't getting ahead because some of these lights were going bad the next day.
We need a copy of that map.
Oh, that's fine.
They trying to say you would have knocked the lights out.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, yes, sir.
I forgot this, while we was on the light, I thought about it. Those banners that, Ms. McNeil had put up, they look lovely, but some of them now, the bottom part had come loose. And if we don't do something about that, they're gonna be, damaged.
Okay, they have a new,
Let me give you an update on that. Today, I saw 3 on Main Street, the bottom post was missing and the banners was flying. I called the electric department and said that I guess the tourism department had hired a contractor to install those, and that the tourism department actually had those posts. I talked with Brittany this morning, and we took down those 3 on Main Street that were looking bad and flopping, and the post, the bottom was missing, until we can get the rest of the materials to put them back up.
there's some
You
on
got one more.
Churros, there's some on Churros, they're just waiting for the new company they contracted with to start servicing. They're gonna be responsible for fixing all of that and changing the balance with the seasons and everything.
Great.
But they haven't come on to start, so it looks bad, I'll agree with you. But do you know when the new company is gonna start? Ms. Jones, I thought you were gone.
No, at this time, the new company, I believe, does not have workers' comp, which they need to be insured, dealing with city property.
Okay.
So we're having a hard time finding a company who has the right insurance to be able to do the job. We've contacted at least 4 or 5 companies looking for someone to handle that. I did talk to Max this morning, so the utility department's gonna take our banners down until we can get the new fall banners put up properly, so we don't look so bad. But we agree with you, it does look
You all
bad.
signed a contract with
No,
this company?
we have not.
Okay. All right, pending
Pending.
insurance, wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Good job.
Y'all know what I'm gonna say? Thank you. All right. I have one thing, and, I'll read through everybody's report, and I'd just like to highlight Mr. Lee Johnson, the gas supervisor. He had his pipeline inspection, okay, August 26th, and he was complimented by the inspectors, and they said that they were no violations, and everything was in compliance. So we want to highlight employees when they're doing a good job and they get recognized like this, like the fire department got recognized for something. So, yeah, we are grateful to the people that work for the city. Yes,
Make
indeed.
sure.
Oh, yeah, please tell him that we appreciate him and whoever else works with him. We appreciate their work because that means a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you get all A's on something, that
Yeah.
means a lot.
Hard work.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. See y'all next Tuesday at 4:30, Ms. Quick.
Thank you.
I don't want to share something with you before we go. Oh, you going to the property?
No, but I had to sign, some folks, but I'll come right back. I'll come right back.